Alrighty, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's edition of the Racers Elite Network, the Xfinity Series, coming to you live from the Kansas Speedway, one of my favorite places in the country, Kansas City, Kansas. Spent a lot of time there myself, and we are going to visit the virtual Kansas Speedway tonight, mile and a half oval, and going to be interesting here. Weather 74 degrees, ambient air temperature 57%, humidity partly cloudy weather, 3-mile-an-hour wind gust. Got myself producing here tonight and announcing alongside my announcer is Mike Taylor. I want to thank TrackCams22.com for the providing our cameras that we'll be using throughout the course of tonight's racing action. Also want to thank Andrew Tuff for having us aboard with the Racers Elite Network, the Xfinity Series, here tonight. Going to be an interesting race coming up. Fun time here to be had by all, and looking forward to kicking things off as Mike not here yet, but he will be joining us shortly. But the Xfinity Series is going to be putting down some laps. Final practice underway. And we're going to take a quick look at the point standings coming into tonight's event. Stephen Luttrell is your point leader with 85 points. Sean Dunaway second with 84 points. Cliff Adams is in third with 80 points. Patrick Millette is fourth with 76 points. Aaron Marquis is fifth with 71 points, tied there with Barry Nelson. David Davis is seventh with 69 points. Lee Campbell is eighth with 67 points. Robert Richardson is ninth with 63 points. Brandon Massey is 10th with 63 points, to tie there as well. Running out the 11th spot, Truth Hoke with 62 points. Dennis Kane is 12th with 61 points. Cody Manelli is 13th with 59 points. Joshua Neal 14th with 58 points, is a tie there with him and Brandon Biddy. Andrew Teft is 16th with 57 points. Jonathan Stidham is 17th with 56 points. Justin Neal is 18th with 56 points as well. So there's a tie for those positions. As we look going back down through that field now, also have Matthew Cornell in 19th with 50 points. Kyle Hess is 20th with 47 points. Ira Kohlhaas in 21st with 46 points. Brendan Wilcox in 22nd with 45 points. David Kimmons is 23rd with 44 points. Kinsley Smith 24th with 41 points. It's a tie with him and Kirby Wainscott. Brandon Honeycutt is 26th with 38 points. Jack Kelly is 27th with 36 points. And Jesse Fox with 33 points in 28th. There's some more down here. 29th is Curtis Ecker with 32 points. Troy Thomas in 30th with 30 points. And Timothy Weisbrand in 31st with 15 points. That's your point standings coming into today's event here at the Kansas Speedway. And with that being said, Mike has joined me here in the booth. Mike, it's good to see you. Good to get back after it, brother.
Yes, sir. I am so glad to be back here for the Racers Elite Wednesday night series. We got some exciting racing coming up tonight, and so I'm just excited to get this thing up and running with you today.
We're at got final practice underway, and about 6.5 minutes left here. Still have opening ceremonies to do yet, and they got there's a little bit of time there to kick that off. But looking here, as usual, Andrew Teft puts it all on the line here in practice session, and is on top of the charts here. I'd say a little early at Kansas. So dialing that number 98 Ford up and rolling here tonight, and Stephen Luttrell in the 36 Toyota. So all brands being represented well here in final practice is Andrew Tuff, Stephen Luttrell, and Brandon Massey. That's Ford, Toyota, and Chevy. So all three there, and then there's followed by a slew of Chevys all the way back to the 12th position in final practice times.
Yeah, those names on top of the charts at the moment is none too surprising to me whatsoever. As Andrew Teft, he's always fast almost no matter where we go. So
Yeah, he'll look to try to get the monkey off his back and pick up the win tonight. We'll see. He definitely puts it all out there and lets the drivers know, and competitors, that he's here to try to take home the championship, even though he is the league owner. And we get the famous "you rigged it" words that thrown around jokingly, but it's when you try to run a league, and I mean he's got great admin work here, so it's not like he's the one fixing anything because the admin is not him that's making the calls.
Exactly. He doesn't like to make any of the calls on track. That's one of the reasons why we absolutely having uh Chan from Speed Zone Race Control. She does such a phenomenal job. Calling everything as she sees it. She doesn't low blow anybody. As she actually just jumped into the race control as we speak. But she's just absolutely phenomenal what she does every single week, and that's one of the things I really like about Andrew is when he races, he doesn't make any calls
Right. Yeah, it's
because he wants it to be down the line, fair and square.
yeah, we on the dirt side of things, the way we used to race our own series and try to put it on and stuff, and having to make the calls from the cockpit, we just kind of did it, own it up, or we started we did points penalties if people didn't own up to it, and we went back because there are certain situations, and coming from the sim side of things, looking at things that it may not be either driver's fault.
Exactly, and I do a lot of work with the major series as race control over there, and man, some of those calls are so hard to make, and then you come over here and you're like, oh man, I don't know if that's the right call, and then you're like, oh, that's definitely, I don't, maybe, I don't, so I'm glad that I don't have to make the calls.
No, so that's not our job here. Thank goodness. We'd be having was it to the NASCAR hauler at the end of the race.
Exactly.
Here comes detention. Just kidding. Anyway, we're going to do opening ceremonies trackside, playing the national anthem, great stuff like that. So if everybody please your eyes, move your hats, place your hands over your hearts as we honor our nation's colors with the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. We'll be right back here live from Kansas Speedway with qualifying. Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kansas Speedway with final practice getting wrapped up here in a matter of just about a minute here. And Andrew Tuff still on top of the board, still looking pretty strong up there. And Brandon Massey snuck up there and has broken up. I was gonna say he broke up the Ford Chevy Toyota, but he took the Toyota off second, and put the Chevy in second. So he's kind of rearranging the manufacturer row here.
I did. Ah, I thought I lost my screen for a second.
Oops, that's never good. Monitor's got a mind of its own.
At times it does. But yeah, just absolutely as we have just about 25 seconds or so left. I'm sorry, 3 seconds left here. You know, Andrew Tuff definitely up there on top. You know, Brandon Massey, he's wicked fast in that number 9 Chevy, and then Steven Luttrell in the 36 up there representing Toyota. He's one of the two Toyotas in the field, and the other one's going to be Kirby Wainscott, who didn't put in any lap times tonight in practice, so he'll finish last in practice. But we're going to go ahead and switch over to qualifying, and we're going to get this thing underway here.
I think, yeah, 25 drivers look to be putting times down on the board tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how qualifying plays out, as it's going to give a very crucial starting position here at Kansas, and not only crucial starting position, but also something that I've realized that I think we've missed here in the past, even maybe the super speedway, I don't know, super speedway race we did, but that was Daytona. But it come down to that also crucial pit spot on pit road.
Definitely, man. We have a good amount of cars out here tonight. I'm excited for it, man.
You got 25 cars, and I think the majority of them are Chevys. I don't know if that's hinting at something that iRacing did or something that iRacing needs to fix.
Well, one of the biggest things, you know, from what I can tell, is just like overall, you know, I don't think any one true manufacturer gets a competitive edge. So like for me, you know, I'm diehard uh, Chevy all around. So I'll always pretty much be in a Chevy. But there's been quite a few times where I have ran that Ford Mustang in the NIS series a couple times, and both of the cars they just for to me they handle the same. Unlike if you go over to the roadside, and you drive the Chevy Corvette versus the Chevy Mustang and like I said, the IMSA series, it's a total different beast. But here in the NASCAR side, I really don't know. I've never really felt much of a difference between the three vehicles.
I gotcha. Right now, looks like a couple drivers switch for that pole position as of right now. Joshua Neal went to the top of the chart early with like a 30.430. And then Brandon Massey swept in with a 30.390 to take it away. Joshua Neal came back around 30.207, went to the top, as that's going to change again. And with 30.162 for the 80 at Cliff Adams currently as we roll through qualifying. So lap times strolling in here. 9 drivers have posted times, but there's 26 or 25 potential drivers to post lap times here. As we're not following any in particular driver here. We're letting iRacing kind of do its thing with the little bit of most exciting drivers, as it says. I have a couple that are flickering around a little bit, but that'll be something that will either settle itself out or something that the drivers will have to figure out later. I think I have one in particular when it was flashing. It was who was it? That Aaron Marquis, I think, was the most notorious one here recently.
I get that for sure. Yeah, right now Cliff Adams in that number 80 machine, wicked fast out of the gate here. Last night over in the Tuesday night truck series, he had a very good strong race truck until getting taken out late in the race at Pocono last night. So him coming out here dominating like this here for the Xfinity cars is absolutely no surprise to me, as he's currently sitting on top of the board. As we take a look here at that number 79 of Justin Neal and that orange and black Chevrolet, he's coming out here trying to make some noise out here as well.
Yeah, a lot of drivers trying to make some noise here, but I'll tell you what, there's still one driver who hasn't put any lap times on the board yet, and that was Andrew Teft right now, and I'm watching for him to see if he can outdo the other drivers here, his competitors, in qualifying as well as he did in practice.
Yeah, Andrew Teft, he's usually that one driver that will wait until everybody makes a run, and then he will come out and put down the lap.
Yeah, sometimes waiting has its benefactors too. You might catch the track at a certain track temperature, be able to get some more bite, some grip that others weren't able to get. You might also be able to come out, maybe the track's a little cooler. And I mean, even the problem is coming out on cold tires and trying to run a a bruiser of a lap time and just completely smoke the field on that lap. But it doesn't always work out that way. And sometimes waiting, you might not get the track temperature you want. You may hurt yourself in the long run. But it seems like a few of the drivers are doing that. Cliff Adams is 30.162 is holding really strong. As the car we're watching now, looks like the 28 got loose coming off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval. And that was Barry Nelson. Still put in 11th quick there on that run, 30.546. We'll see if he, I think that's where it's going to lock in at, is 11th quick. Is that second lap not any faster, 32.184.
Definitely a really good lap time there for him. As I believe we are now watching that 0-1 now of Sean Dunaway. He's another one of those drivers that he's not really good in qualifying per se, but let me tell you what, by the end of it, he'll probably be right up there in the top five.
If you don't pick up a win, we've already seen that this season in the Xfinity Series.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, that just goes to show it doesn't matter where he qualifies as injured. Tough now going to make his way to the racetrack. And Cliff Adams still on top of the board here as we walk through this. Off of turn number 4 to the line. This time the 0-1 Hello Kitty sponsored ride to the line. We'll see if he put a personal best down, 30.653. You said not the best qualifying effort. It's 14th quick. Steve Luttrell across now, 30.625 for his first lap. We'll have some more laps clicking in here momentarily. Patrick Millette, 30.497. That's 10th quick for him on his first lap. With the 60 machine across, that's a warm up lap for the 60 of Lee Campbell. This time across, we'll see if the 0-1 of Dunaway can put another lap time on the board, see if it's better here across the stripe for the 0-1, and it's a 30.377. That's going to move him up the charts all the way to P9. So good qualifying effort for the 0-1 of Dunaway.
yeah, definitely really good turnaround on that second lap there. As I'm taking a look here at Andrew Tefton, that number 98 machine. You know, he's using a very not, you know, I don't recognize the paint scheme. So like if I didn't see that number, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that that was Andrew Teft. As I don't think he ran this paint last week.
He did not. I was kind of wondering if this is a shot at what happened, because to me, he made the 98 the black ball for tonight's race. So I don't know if he was flagging himself as the meatball car or if it's an inside joke or what. As he's going to go to the top of the leaderboard with that second lap at 30.138. Andrew Tuff now currently going to be your pole sitter.
Andrew Teft's just so wicked fast. As the next one that's going to come across the line is going to be David Davis in that 777 machine. That's going to move him all the way up to that 8th spot with a 30.280. Not a bad time for him.
No, that's a really good time for him. Let's see. Yep. Alrighty. So Andrew Tuft setting quick time on the board with a minute and 16 seconds left. And those of you watching at home, I don't have my taskbar, the window at the top flipped because of where my ticker shows up at here when we go to race mode, so it will go away. But it's also my little other iRacing tagline to give iRacing credit for their sim and allowing us to play along. So 47 seconds and Andrew Teft on top of the board. We'll go through your starting lineup here. As soon as qualifying comes to a close, I think everybody's put their lap times down here. A couple of drivers that have not, that I'm not sure still, not sure if they're with us here. Looks like Kirby Wayne Scott, Brandon Honeycutt, Kyle Hess, and Timothy Weisbrand. Not sure that they are going to play along and start tonight's race. We'll see how that goes when we go to the starting lineup here coming up. But should be a fun race, Mike, and looking forward to seeing exactly how Andrew Tuft handles tonight's event.
I definitely expect Andrew Temp in that number 98 machine to come out swinging. I know the last time that we saw Andrew, in one of these league races was I think it was back on Friday. And it didn't end too well for him, so he's hoping to come out here and reclaim his throne on top of the leaderboard. So let's see what happens with Andrew at the end of this race.
Sure thing. As we're ready to go into our starting lineup, we're going to flip flop things around here and get the ticker up as we get ready. But we'll get to our starting lineup. Starting on the inside of the front row, the Chicken Coop Racing's 98 is Andrew Tuft. To his outside, Vortex Motorsports number 80 is Cliff Adams. Inside of row number 2, Midwest Motorsports number 82, Joshua Neal. To his outside, position number 4 in the 19 is Cody Vanelli. Inside of row number 3, Bohica Esports number 9 is Brandon Massey. Will start 5th. Starting in 6th is the Night Owl CCR BHTL. Not sure what goes past that. The 4 of Dennis Kane will start 6th. Starting inside of row number 4, 8K Motorsports 36 is Stephen Luttrell. Starting 8th is the 777 of David Davis. Inside of number 5, Chicken Coop Racing's 8 is Curtis Ecker. He'll start 9th. His outside, Truth Hoke, the 55 from Misfits Racing, will start P10. Rolling back now, inside of row number 6 is going to be Robert Richardson in the 49. To his outside, the 18 of Patrick Millett will start 12. We'll move back now to row number 7, starting in 13th. The 41 is Aaron Marquis, starting outside. In the 14th starting position is the 01 of Sean Dunaway in the Hello Kitty sponsored ride. Inside of number 8, Biddy Family Racing's number 30, and 15th is Brandon Biddy. Starting 16th is the 79 of Justin Neal. There we go. All right. Starting inside of row number 9, in the 17th starting position is the 28 of Barry Nelson. Starting 18th is the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas for Bohica Esports. Starting inside of row number 10 for Full Send Esports is the 60 of Lee Campbell in 19th. To his outside, the 42 of Jonathan Stidham will start 20th. Inside row number 11 is 52 of David Kimmons. Starting 22nd, driving Extreme Inc. 13 is Brandon Honeycutt. Inside of row number 12 is High Wide and Handsome Motorsports 86 is Kyle Hess. To his outside, the 92 of Timothy Weisbrand is scheduled to start 24th. Trying to tail back on the field, the last driver in the grid is the number 10 for Chicken Coop Racing. It is Kirby Wayne Scott. That is your 25 cars starting grid for the Racers Elite Network Xfinity Series as they roll off a pit road and get ready, get lined up, and take the green flag when they come off of turn number 4 this time by. So fun times about to be had here by the 98 and the 80s. So going to be an interesting show here to see how they play when the green flag drops. And Andrew Tuft takes the green and leads them down into turn 1 with the 80 of Cliff Adams. So iRacing.com official pace truck has command right now, but it's about to relinquish that command to the race leader and the flagman to start today's race. Green flag is out and away we go. Race is underway and Andrew Tuft looks like he's going to have the point going through the tri-oval. Cliff Adams on the outside has a good run and don't know. Looks like he might be able to come back out on the outside, but so he's going to take a little bit. Momentum is going to be a little bit hard to come by. It looks like Andrew Tuft's going to come up, try to take away the momentum line. The 82 of Joshua Neal is going to try to move up and go with him. I don't know that he had room, but he looks like he was able to clear going into turn 3. 105 laps is the distance here tonight. And we are under the lights here at Kansas. So things a little, going to be a little interesting here as they get everything situated.
The 82 had a big wobble there out of turn number 4 on the first lap. He fell all the way back to that 22nd position.
Yeah, it's a long way back there for. He lost a lot of spots there. 18 spots he lost off that wobble, but fortunately he was able to get that corrected and not have any issues. And everybody was able to give him enough room to get that car back under his control. And now he'll begin his fight forward. He's got a lot of time to get there. I'd rather make a mistake early and learn from it and be able to battle back than to do it late and not have time to get back where I feel like I probably should have finished.
Oh, I definitely agree 100% with that. But one thing he did prove in qualifying is that he is absolutely fast. So it's just going to be interesting to see how well that USS Chevy will work in all that dirty air as he's going to try to work his way back through this field.
I was watching a couple of guys. It seemed like they were about 2 and 3 wide there momentarily, but looks like everybody's able to get situated. A couple passes being made. Drivers going forward as Barry Nelson is already up to 11th from 17th. So Barry Nelson's 28 Havoline sponsored Chevrolet on the move.
Yeah, again, a new number, new look for Barry Nelson in that number 28 machine. He ran his. I forgot. I don't remember what he said his car number was last year, but he had absolute terrible luck. And so he said this year, new car, new look, new number, and we're going to see what he can do. And so far, moving up 6 spots since we've been green the last as we're working finishing up lap number 5 now. So far, that number 28 is looking pretty strong so far.
He's looking strong. He's moved up 6 spots. Aaron Marquis of the 41s. I'd show him on screen. Maybe we'll keep him momentarily. He's having some network issues as far as the server goes. But the Exalta number 41 Chevrolet looking strong so far. He's up 9 spots, closest to the front. He is in 4th, started, and 13th, having a good run. And the 36 Toyota in front of him, with Stephen Luttrell, is having a decent run already as well. He started in 7th. He is now 3rd.
Yeah, definitely a really good hard racing at the moment, but I don't know, if it's wise to be running this hard so early on. But I mean, if they're able to run this hard and then turn around and save their tires for later on in this run, then it very well could benefit them.
Yeah, it can very well benefit them in trying to get set up. I mean, you gotta kind of know who you're faster than and who you're competitive with, and you got to keep in the back of your mind week to week. Maybe there's a certain driver in the field that holds you up, and you just want to be ahead of them because they just know how to be right in the way at the right time, and it's just enough to set your whole race aside. So I could get a battle now. I don't think it's Aaron Marquis. It's background. Not Truth Hoke might have been. Yeah, Truth Hoke in the 49 of Robert Richardson are in this battle back here, side by side, trying to figure out who's going to take over that 6th position. So it's a good battle there. And it looks like Truth Hoke is going to take over the 6th position. Robert Richardson's going to have to settle in for 7th, put those drivers up 4 spots since the start of this race. And it looks like Richardson's not going to play easy. Now he's going to have David Davis to deal with as he chose the high side. Davis trying to work the bottom right now and maybe make up some ground, make some passes here. Here we go. We're going to flip-flop again. Davis now going to go to the high side. Squeeze in and you got to be careful. You're going to see the 49 look like he was going to squeeze the nose under the quarter panel of the 55 of Truth Hope.
Yeah. Truth Hook in that number 55 AC Delco machine, he's been really wicked fast himself the last couple of weeks. I know, like over at the season opener, he was having a lot of issues. The end of last season as well, having a lot of issues. Just wasn't having any luck in the off season, but the last 2 weeks though, something's flipped in that number 55 machine, and whatever it is, he needs to keep doing it because he's been running top 5 majority of the time the last couple weeks.
Yeah, Truth Hook's definitely a one to contend with here in any series that I think I've seen with Racers Elite Network, whether it be Xfinity, Trucks, Next Gen. I've seen him do very well throughout each ranking that we've ran here. and I always look forward to watching Truth turn the laps here at any of the in any of the series with Racers Elite Network. And another thing before I forget, I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in. I saw somebody catch the wall there off of turn number 2. I'm sure exactly who it was. I saw the big plume of smoke, but it looked like everybody was able to keep it straight. It was just a brush of the wall at probably some decently high speeds as the driver's running around here. But yeah, Troop definitely looking strong here today. We'll see how pit stops play in his favor. As change for the race lead, and Steven Luttrell in the 36 is now your race leader, as Andrew Tuft in the 98 has slipped to P4. So looking here, it looks like, I wouldn't say his lap times have really faded any. He's still decently quick. Should be somewhere around second or third quick, or second or third actually, but it seems like he's just playing it easy. And it is early. We're on lap 13 of 105. You don't want to push it too much too soon, like we were talking about earlier. Ended up giving away all that track position.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that that number 98 machine just might be doing right now is he's probably just saving up his tires just a little bit here by allowing, Luttrell, Macy, and Adams all to go by him. Now he can just run off of their draft a little bit here and run about the same pace as them, because when that happens, he's going to save those tires for a little bit later on in this run, and it's going to propel him forward.
Yeah, Kansas is not really known as one of those draft tracks that we all know and love. It's not Daytona, it's not Talladega, it's not Atlanta. We don't necessarily have a big wreck here. There's nothing really going to take out of this. But and just to give an update on drivers starting and not starting this race, everybody did start. We do have all 25 Xfinity cars out there. So the questionable ones for qualifying did start today's race. They are on the racetrack. We have 25 drivers on the lead lap right now as we speak on lap 16 of 105. As the 36 is now looking to relinquish the lead to Brandon Massey. Massey goes to the inside, and that number 9, and he will take over the race lead for the time being. Cliff Adams in the 80 might follow suit there as he actually moved up behind the number 9, or the 36, excuse me, is now he's going to fall down to the bottom of the racetrack, as now Luttrell's going to let the 9 of Massey go back ahead. And we'll see if that stays true. It looks like he's going to. And our battle for second now between the 80 and the 36 will pursue as they chase the number 9, the Brandon Massey, here on the racetrack.
Yeah, Cliff Adams hanging strong on that inside lane. He's having a little bit of trouble currently getting around Steven Luttrell, but not this time. He'll go ahead and get him cleared. As we see Andrew Teff now making the dive down on the inside of that number 36 machine, and here comes the 41 of Aaron Marquis. So definitely that outside lane is not helping Steven Luttrell at all in that Toyotas, as he's having just about 3 drivers start to pass him here, and that's going to hurt him a little bit as he falls back even more into the pack.
Yeah, falling back into the pack, not necessarily a bad thing. It is early in the race. You don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And when that is, nobody knows until it's too late. And you just don't want to be in that position. You want to play it safe right now. You've got time. It's lap 18 of 105. We have 87 laps to go. If I'm in the top 10 right now, I'd probably be pretty consistent if somebody ran up on me to let them go for the time being. You kind of want to stay with them. I think the front 5 runners have the idea, but there's a few that are coming from a little further back that may have a say-so of how things go later in this race, and it's going to be interesting to see how tight this pack is when we get within 10 to go, I believe.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're further back in the pack like this, you want to push a little bit more to, because you have that sense of, okay, I'm all the way back here. I need to get up to the front, but at the same time, when you are sitting there like in that mindset, you're gonna start using up your equipment a lot more. So they definitely have to adjust for that. And yeah, they can push, but also at the same time, they need to be saving their tires too.
Yep, David Davis a little loose there, a little bit of wall contact. They're going to allow the 0-1 of Sean Dunaway to move forward and take away that number 8 position. We'll see. It looks like the SC has cleared him. We're looking at the prime, that's the 18. Patrick Millette was running the high side of the racetrack, trying not to damage the tires on that machine or take any or add additional wear, so to speak, to that number 18 Prime machine. He's running he's running a little bit higher, not scrubbing the tires, but look like man, he's flirting with that wall big time off the floor.
Yeah, a couple of these drivers are starting to get a little bit tight as we are only just about 20 laps in. And that's one of the things about Kansas is this track. It's so wide. It is so fast in the corners, and it means you can eat up your tires so quick here. And then before you know it, you're starting to push coming out of these corners, and you're going to start pounding that outside wall.
Yeah, as we just watched the 18 to Millette, he did actually get into the wall pretty good there. He lost 2 spots trying to get back away from the wall, but he was mid-corner, so he rode the wall all the way out. And it is a wholesale speed momentum killer through the corner as he a little bit loose right there in front of the Powell-sponsored ride 13 at Chevrolet and Brandon Honeycutt. Honeycutt not going to waste his time there. He said that is a dangerous situation. Got a loose cannon and he wants out of there as Honeycutt now going to pull to the inside, try to make a pass on that number 18 and was not able to do so through turns 3 and 4. He'll look again through the trial, try to set him up for 1 and 2.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Brandon Honeycutt, in that number 13 machine, right now he has pulled up just about 9 spots from where he started. By the time they get to maybe lap 75, you can probably guarantee he's going to be a threat for a win, unless if he's not, ready waiting in victory lane by the time this thing is over with, because that's just how bad fast Brandon Honeycutt is, and he really likes to see what he can do by starting in the back of these at these races.
Yeah, most definitely. I was taking a look here at Kirby Wainscott's Racers Elite number 10 sponsored ride. So he at the back of the pack here. He went looked like he went a lap down. He might just might not have been across the start finish line yet. He's lost some serious ground there. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I imagine the back end stepped out. The car looks clean, so I'm not certain exactly what happened to this number 10. But he's still rolling and everything looks to be good. So fortunately, he was able to keep out of the whatever's gonna kind of make him have a rough day. Seems to be all right.
Yeah, I mean we still got a very long way to go in this thing, and anything can still happen at this point. So don't count him out of it just yet.
Yeah, but it's definitely not counting anybody out of this race at all just yet. Brandon Massey still your race leader in the wrecking. I don't know if I want to say that or not. The race leader has a wrecking loose sponsor on the side of his car, and I don't know if that should be the primary sponsor. It looks like there's a Jerry's plastic sponsor on the front of that car, and that's what we're going to go with here as he works his way around the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4.
Hey, you know what? You can have a wrecking loose race car and be the fastest one out there and know how to handle it. That's all that matters. And as of right now, Brandon Massey, he knows what he's doing as he's out front. And he's now just about 20, 30 car lengths in front of second place of Aaron Marquise, as he is now making the run on the inside here of Cliff Adams for that for that second spot.
Yeah, he's trying to get that dialed up here, and Aaron Marquis and Cliff Adams going at it. Andrew Tuft right there in the 4th spot, not far behind in that Ford sponsored 98, High Point sponsored 98 as well. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Robert Richardson settled into 5th right now in the 49 machine. Rolling back now to Curtis Eckert in the 8 car. He is sitting in position number 6. Sean Dunaway is up to 7th right now as he was started 14th. Is currently in the 7th position. David Davis is still hanging on and showing that he belongs in that number 8 position. And it would be kind of odd if he was in 7th in that 777 machine. It's like Stephen Luttrell right now in 9th. Cody Benelli in the 10th spot. Brandon Honeycutt is up to 11th. Started 22nd. Driver on the move. And battle going on now as he's trying to hold off a charge from the number 34 to Brandon Biddy, as I believe the Palace 13 was going forward. And the 30 losing a position here is Brandon Biddy trying to hold off. Now Justin Neal. They're 3 wide momentarily through the center of the corner. Down the back straightaway. Going to settle out 2 wide there. Patrick Millette and Joshua Neal in that mix is Justin Neal and Brandon Biddy now. battling it out. As Dennis Kane in the 4 is trying to figure out how to make his way through these drivers, as well as Truth Hope. And the AC Delco sponsor 55 is up to 17th now for the time being. We'll see if he can bring that ride further forward. And speaking of what happened to Ira Kohlhaas is 29, I believe, is on pit road. I think we are in a pit window here. Speaking of pit strategy, we have not brought that up yet, and now it is time. 31 to 34, I think, is our pit window, Mike.
Yeah, definitely really good lap times here. Oh, as Ira stopped too early in his box, and he had to roll that thing forward after sitting there for about 2 seconds. So this is absolutely going to hurt Ira in this pit cycle here. But yeah, just about 30 to 34 laps, maybe 35 if you're good enough to hold on to it, and save enough fuel. So with this starting to happen now, yeah, we're looking to have about 3 more pit stops before this thing is over.
Like, yeah, it's might be able to squeak 2. We'll see who can do it, who can try it. This is an early stop. The 29 definitely going to need probably 3 total to get there. I believe maybe the thought of 2 could be possible. Is the 82 now of Joshua Neal and the 18 of Millette now coming down pit road. We'll see if they can get it's like figure now is going to be a four tire and fuel stop for any of the drivers coming down. Just have to be cautious they don't get that ever so dreaded speeding penalty. As your race leader, Brandon Massey in the number 9 coming down, and he's got a group of drivers as well. Might as well open the bullpen. It's time for everybody to take a break here at Kansas and get things situated before they go to green back on the racetrack.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Ira Kohlhaas is finally coming out of the pits after a very, very lengthy pit stop. Yeah, he spent 1 minute 13 seconds in his pit stall. So I'm not sure if he broke something or what happened, but he finally made his way back out on track, and he's going to be just about 3 to 4 laps down.
Yeah, he's gonna have lost a couple of spots there. Looks like he had a damage, what do you call it, contact marker, potential 3x total. So he may have had some extra damage, and he didn't want to use that fast repair just yet. He wants to save it for a bigger situation, other than him bumping the wall and maybe getting a little careless himself. So that would probably the reason for that extended stop here. Is Cliff Adams, the number 80, on pit road now, is still your race leader for the time being. We'll see how long he can hang on to it here, as it looks like that group came down pit road. We'll see, as it looks like Curtis Ecker now going to take the race lead, but he is on pit road as well.
Yep, Kyle Hess is coming back down pit road for a speeding violation, as he will go ahead and bring it to a stop in his pit stall, and he's getting service on his car again. He should be all right. Andrew Teft. Andrew Teft hit with a speeding violation. Let me see. Because the pit speed limit is 45 miles an hour. And he left his box. Let's see what happened. I'm taking an eye on this here for you. Ooh, that was close. And when he got to the line, the pit exit line, he was at just about 48 miles an hour. So they got him for speeding on pit road, as he will have to bring it back down and bring it into his pit stall, and he's going to have to get that thing back out there.
You have to figure out how to make up some ground here, and unfortunately that means that he's going to want to see some yellow flags on the racetrack in order to make up that lost time. But so the rest of us out here, let's see this thing continue to go green to checkered, and with very little interruption in between, as these drivers put on a great show here at the Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things with this whole uh, pit lane speeding violations, as he's still down there 45 seconds in his pit stall he had to wait, so that's going to knock him back just about 2 to 3 laps down. So he's going to be another one that's going to be looking for a caution. But right now your race leader is back in the hands of that number 9 of Brandon Macy.
Yeah, Brandon having a fantastic showing here so far tonight. Hoping to be able to continue that as the night goes on, and
Yep,
he'll be a
as we see that 41 Aaron Marquise come back around on the inside, and he'll take it out of turn number 2.
good run there
I'm
for
sorry to
him.
cut you off.
No, you're good. This is a lead change, and I was cycling the camera, so you're good. It's awesome. That's
Right.
it'll be good to see what Massey can do here with the. Now that Marquis is taking the lead, we'll see if he can stay with him, or if this is the separation between the men and the boys as far as who's going to put the lap time down and try to set up for the end of this race early, so to speak.
Definitely going to be something to watch. As Marquis, he's already pulled out to almost a half a second this last lap. So he's not doing too bad getting that number 41 machine away from Brandon Massey and that number 9. So definitely really good run so far for Marquis, and we're about to see what he can do.
Yeah, currently kind of riding on. We were riding on board there with Brandon Massey momentarily. You hear the scrub of the tires going through the corner. Wasn't quite trying not to kill too much momentum.
Yeah, I'm watching the separation between Brandon Macy right now and Stephen Luttrell in that number 36 Toyota. Uh, it seemed pretty even from like the difference between like Aaron Marquis to Stephen Luttrell. But Brandon Macy, he keeps kind of like getting closer to Marquis, falling back towards Luttrell. And so it looks like right now Marquis and Luttrell are kind of playing like a tug of war right now with Brandon Massey.
Yeah, tug of war with them being the center divider of both drivers there. Unfortunately, the penalties that have came about, Andrew Teft is now being scored in the 24th position and 2 laps down, having to go serve that penalty. So that's a tough road to hoe here. We'll see if he's able to come back out of it. It's 61 laps remaining here, 44 laps in the books. I should say 43 in the books, working lap 44 of 105. So after that set of pit stops, biggest mover on the racetrack right now, up 12 spots, Aaron Marquis, your race leader. Assuming now, Brandon Honeycutt up 16 spots in the 6th position from 22nd. So big move there for Brandon Honeycutt's number 13 machine, the PALS sponsored ride, as he makes his way through turn number 1 and 2. A great run so far for Brandon Honeycutt.
Yeah. Back when this last pit cycle started, he was back in that 11th spot. And right now, he's sitting very comfortably right now in that 6th spot. So Brandon Honeycutt, like I said, he's very strong. You give him to about lap 75 or so, he'll be right up there, fighting for that race lead against Marquis, Macy, and Luttrell here in just a few moments. So, probably just within 30 laps or so, that's when I think we'll see Brandon right up there racing with the race leaders.
Yeah, it's quite early in this one to be picking names and picking drivers, but if I had to pick anybody tonight to win this, maybe Truth Hook from the 18th position right now. He's not really showing showing too true right now to get up to the front of the pack. But Aaron Marquis ran a 30.217 so far as the best lap of the race, and looks to be he's the only driver in the sub 2 second, the 30.2 second bracket. We have a couple in the 3s, but Aaron Markey looking to be the driver to beat here tonight so far.
Yeah, even your pole sitter, he ran a 30.3, and uh, Marquis, he ran a 30.22. So it's not a bad time there for Marquis. So, he's know how to get it done around this racetrack, and I was just gonna have to see if he can capitalize on everything that has gone on so far.
Capitalizing is the name of the game here. It was some of these drivers not having the qualifying effort they wanted as they try to make their way forward in this race. There's not only too many developing stories here as of right now. A couple of drivers, everybody's trying to fill the track out. They're getting everything sorted out here as we roll forward in the race. And try to get there's a good battle there between the 80 of Cliff Adams and the 8 of Curtis Ecker, side by side here, both in Chevy Monte Carlos, or Chevy Camaros maybe. Chevy Camaro, I think, in the Xfinity, as they roll forward.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely the Camaro. I absolutely love. Yeah, I say this every broadcast, but I'm absolutely in love with that number 8 paint scheme. The way that green looks on it, and how he has the specs maps on it, it pops, and I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna tell everybody right now, if go to Google and type in family traditions RV rentals and rent yourself an RV from Curtis, as they have pretty good deals about starting prices at 150 for a night. And you tell them where you're going, and you pay a little extra for your for the miles to the campground, and they'll take care of everything for you. So definitely check out Family Traditions, and go make some memories, because that's what he's all about. He's about making memories, and you know that family tradition. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, that's awesome right there. I know exactly what you're saying about that. I enjoy some great family memories myself. I like camping out at the racetrack, going to some 2-3 day shows. I like rolling in there on Thursday night, racing on Friday, or practice on Thursday, race on Friday, race on Saturday. Got good old love for the dirt track stuff. And my home track's got a new owner, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing more of that here in the future as well. Looks like about probably 7 or 8 more laps, maybe, and we're going to start seeing the second round of pit stops, I believe. May not even be that long.
Yeah, that's just about where my calculations are as well. Um, as Ecker is still right there on that back bumper of Adams, as he's still trying to make his way around him. But so far, that's a really good battle right here for that for that 7th spot between Adam and Ecker.
As they continue to duke it out for that spot, pit stops are looming. And look at Aaron Marquis. I'll give you guys an idea how much the tires have changed since that last pit stop. Aaron Marquis is running a 31.833 second lap time currently. And I believe when he came back out from his pit cycle, his lap time, big change there. Lap 34 at 30.311. And he just, speaking of, running a 31.912 last time by, so looking to see, maybe a different pit lap here. Shows, put it on lap 34. So lap 33 here in a 32.179. And after coming back out, in his out lap from the pits, his next lap was a 30.741, and then slowly back into 30.4. So just to show a little difference there in what it would be lap time wise. The 31.898 last time by, so definitely slows them down quite a good bit over time. Barry Nelson passed Truth Oak there to pick up position number 20. And it's kind of surprising. There, Truth Oak back in the 21st position. Very uncharacteristic, but there are a lot of great drivers here, a lot of great talent with us in this series. And when you get buried back in the back of the pack, there's Patrick Millette now down pit road in the 18. He will start off kicking off this cycle as stops once again as round number 2 for pit stops here under green flag, live here at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, as we saw on that first set of pit stops, I think we had about 3 different drivers speed getting down onto pit road or exiting pit road. So these drivers definitely need to be careful here, getting down and out of pits so that they don't assume those penalties again.
Yeah, speeding penalty is going to be not going to play very nice here for these drivers as they have issues. If they get issues with speeding and whatnot, then it could be very problematic, as we've seen, for them to catch back up to the pack and be competitive here towards the end of this one without some sort of caution or aid helping them get back to where they want to be before this race is over. Good battle there, side-by-side action through the tri-oval. That's right in front of Curtis Ecker. I believe it's David Davis and Cliff Adams. And now it looks like Curtis Ecker may be becoming part of that battle with Cliff Adams, or one where somebody I think was on the binders a little hard. It looked like Ecker had to find a little bit of brake pedal to the center of the corner. I think he was rolling up on Adams pretty abruptly there and had to find the brake, but looks like he's going to try to make his way around him on the outside now. If I stand corrected, Adams is going to drive away to the center of the corner and better bite there through turns 3 and 4. Aaron Marquisto, your race leader, awaiting that pit stop. So when he comes down, the only drivers to come in so far are, I should say, we have one that came in so far, Patrick Millette. So everybody else should be coming down here in a matter of laps. Aaron Marquis, Brandon Massey, Sean Dunaway. Get Dunaway now, and you're in the 3rd spot in that 0-1. Is Stephen Luttrell in 4th. Running at your top 5 before this round of pit stops is the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt.
Man, I'm telling you, Brandon Honeycutt, he is just wicked fast.
He's definitely a man to be handled tonight, as he is handling everything very well. He's going to be a driver to be reckoned with, I should say, as he's working his way forward. And the 0-1 is Sean Dunaway having a fantastic run as well, up from that 14th starting spot to 3rd right now. So we'll see if he can make any ground or capitalize with the pit stop, as Cliff Adams got around David Davis for P6 and Curtis Ecker around David Davis for P7. So a little bit of action going on here in the field, and it's been a good one so far. As Kirby Wainscott now going to get around Truth Oak, and that's going to draw Truth Oak back to 21st. Wainscott takes over the 20th position. It's like Stephen Luttrell to pit road. As well as the 30 of Brandon Biddy. Looks like Sean Dunaway now going to take over the second spot. Brandon Massey is going to take his number 9 machine to pit road. And here comes a wholesale list of drivers. Potentially the 777 of David Davis is going to make his way to pit road as well. Justin Neal, Dennis Kane is in. Ira Kohlhaas is pulled to pit road as well as Joshua Neal. Neal on pit road as well. Looks like the 92 of Timothy Wisebrand down on lap 67. So right now, Aaron Marquis will have the lead. Here comes the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt. He's on pit road now. Everybody else so far staying out. Looks like Andrew Tuff stays out so far. And the 42 of Jonathan Stidham is going to come down pit road now for his stop. As things are going to get a little chaotic here. Pass is going to be made a little bit everywhere. Let's see here. 52 also down pit road now of David Kimmons. Drivers leaving pit road. And some quick stops being had here.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah, so definitely some really good pit stops for a lot of these drivers. And everybody's so far taken care of getting down on the pit road with no issues.
Yeah, getting on off pit road with no issues can be very problematic. They may or may not be able to get ground that they need. We'll find out here if they're able to make up ground, if they're going to lose ground on pit road. And I think now, final stretch of the race. Drivers that are just now pitting may be able to make it all the way. We'll find out. It's just outside the window. If this race goes into overtime, I believe we're going to see some issues with the leaders. May not be able to make the end of this event.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, they're looking that they have to go just about 38 laps. And so that's going to be very, 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 very close if they're going to have to come in down for pit one more time.
Yeah, as hard as these drivers are running around this racetrack, it's going to be difficult to save any fuel whatsoever to make it to the end of this race. So right now,
So
Cliff
I am-
Adams being scored your race leader. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, something I am looking at, though, is that number 28 of Barry Nelson. When he came down pit road, back on lap 69, he was down in the pits for almost a full minute. So that means he definitely got hit with a penalty somewhere.
I mean, he may have either got hit with a penalty or he may have been getting some extra damage taken care of and didn't want to use up that ever so important fast repair. So he could have been doing that as well. I know I get picky about when I want to use my fast repair, especially if we're doing something along the lines of a restrictor plate race at Talladega or Daytona. You got these long cautions, 48 seconds. You try to use that to your advantage. Here under green flag, you're going to lose a lot of time, but it's not always great to use the fast repair just off the rip if you brush the wall a few times. We also got to look at strategy too, with the pit cycle being so close to the end of the checkered flag falling at this racetrack. We also need to watch and see just how things are going to play out as Brandon Massey in the 9 has the race lead once again, as he's led quite a few laps here today, but we got to watch, and I hate to put it out there that people may potentially cause a yellow on purpose, but when it comes down to needing fuel and you need something to go in your favor, they're going to try to do it and hope they don't put themselves in harm's way, and they still give themselves a chance at the win at the end of this. Yeah, I don't like looking at it that way, but that's always a potential cause. We got 25 drivers out here with different strategies in their brains. Now, I'm sure there's a few teams that probably kind of have the same idea in their head, but it doesn't always work out that way. And speaking of teams, look at the team standings here where the drivers are putting on this fantastic show for you. We're going to let the cameras bounce around. I'm going to put out the team standings a little bit. So right now, the Misfits have the point lead with 218 points. Chicken Coop Racing is in second with 182 points, and that's actually a tie there with FD50K. So that's that. In fourth place right now is Midwest Motorsports with 119 team points. Bohica Esports in fifth with 109 points. Sixth place, Local Motorsports with 103 points. 8K Motorsports in seventh with 85 points. Driving Extreme 8 is in eighth with 79 points. They're up and coming too after that last race, or last week's race. They're up to eighth, so they come up 3 spots. So they were dragging the tail there, so to speak. As High Wide and Handsome Motorsports is ninth, they're up 1 spot there with 47 points. Goomba Racing is 10th with 45 points, and rounding out the 11th team on the standings is Melon Man Mafia with 36 total points. So yeah, a little bit of a team battle going on there, and it's interesting to look at that. We've had no repeat winners yet this season, and it looks to go, if we did continue this out, we would not have a repeat winner as of right now, as your last race winners are Sean Dunaway and Barry Nelson for weeks 1 and 2. So if one of those don't win, we will have yet another repeat winner, or not a repeat winner, so a new winner here in Victory Lane at Kansas for this season. So that would be cool to be able to see them continue to stretch those wins out across the drivers through the series. So better to be lucky than good, especially when it comes to racing. Good and expectations don't always work out, but right now looking at a potential battle for the race lead as Aaron Markey looking to go to the inside of Brandon Massey off of turn number 2. Looking into turn 3 now. As Brandon Massey with the race lead. Aaron Markey wants it in that Exalta number 41. He's going to have to do a little bit of work to get it. 25 laps to go. Be 24 to go as they cross the stripe for your race leader of the number 9 of Brandon Massey. Aaron Marquis is second. Sean Dunaway is third. Stephen Luttrell is fourth. Looking at the battle. Here comes Brandon Honeycutt to the inside of the 36. The PAL sponsored ride going to take away that position. Here comes, so it looks like David Davis, but that is the 10 of Kirby Wainscott. He is a lap down. 2 laps down, I believe, maybe even trying to make up some ground.
Yeah, looks like he's actually trying to fight to get his lap back. So he is going to be just about 1 lap down compared to Brandon Honeycutt and Stephen Luttrell here.
Yeah, fighting to get laps back is no fun, especially at Kansas. It is difficult to do as he tries. It'll be a while to get that lap back. I don't think it's going to happen tonight unless something happens. We've got 22 laps remaining, and the battle's still on the racetrack now. Looks like Brandon Honeycutt and Stephen Luttrell going back at it. Luttrell fights back to the outside of that number 13. And speaking of one of your all-time favorites here in the Xfinity Series, Mike, Sean Dunaway is now in the second position, has made his way around the 41 of Aaron Marquis, and has now set his sights on the Wrecking Loose race leader, the number 9 of Brandon Massey.
My dog keeps barking and I keep muting my mic and it forgets to unmute. So I'm over here talking. I'm like, oh. But yeah, Sean Dunaway in that number 01 Hello Kitty Chevrolet has brought his vehicle out front. Let's go get him, Sean.
He's gonna have to do a little fuel saving. This maybe a little hint here. Brandon Massey has made his way to pit road and has relinquished the lead to Sean Dunaway and has allowed the 18 of Patrick Millette to go to pit road as well. So things changing a little bit here for the way this race is going to play out here with 20 laps remaining here at Kansas. And final pit stop rounds are underway and an early pit. It looks like Brandon Massey going to go a lap down here. I'm not sure. Looks like a regular stop. Just racetrack's really fast here. Everybody else is going to have to cycle through. Or we're going to see some drivers run out of fuel. We may be playing Russian roulette to the checkered flag to see who's going to pick up today's race win.
Yeah, definitely. Just remember, it only takes 30 seconds. 30 seconds to get around this speedway, and for a grand total time, when you do 4 tires, you're done on the pit inside the pits for just about 45 seconds. So you're definitely going to go 1 lap down here at Kansas, but you know, depending on if any of these guys can stretch it far enough, we're going to see what can happen.
Yeah, the driver to probably watch right now, I would say Andrew Tuff, but he's still 2 laps down. So I'm going to say whoever's in the back right now is probably trying to save some fuel. Maybe Jonathan Stidham. Or, let's see, even taking that pit stop for, where did the 9 of Brandon Massey go?
The Cliff
14.
Adams back. Yeah, so Cliff Adams, yeah, I see that, yeah. Because Cliff Adams, he came down on lap 72, so that would have put him just outside of like 33 laps.
Yeah, those are the drivers to watch. Anybody up front right now, the 92 of Timothy Weisburn's coming down pit road. He knows he's gonna need that fuel. So he's going to be in for a fuel stop, maybe tires as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to make it to the end of this one now. As Sean Dunaway continues to lead, you keep saying you're meeting your microphone because the dogs are barking, but the dogs are barking because Hello Kitty's out front.
Absolutely. As you see Sean Dunaway coming up on the back bumper now of
Wayne Scott.
Wayne Scott, thank you.
You're welcome. It's week 3. It's going to take a minute. By the end of this, we'll have everything down. They'll change their cars, collars, and schemes and numbers again, and then we'll have to learn it all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. For the most part, I'm starting to get it. You know, I'm starting to remember numbers and everything, but it's still going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, as of right now, Sean Dunaway, he is out to a 1.3 second lead over that 41 machine of Aaron Marquis. So at this point, I don't know if Sean Dunaway is saving any fuel at this point, because I feel like he is just going for it.
Well, it seems like he's slowed down a little bit. I know he's probably trying to time it out right. Aaron Marquis is about a 1.5 seconds behind, 1.25 seconds behind him. So we'll see. It's up in the air how much they're saving. He's got 13 laps to go. And only him and his spotter have an idea of about what they got left and what he's been doing to try to make it to the end of this race. So it's a little different.
Oh yeah, Sean Dunaway, if you actually ride on board with him, you can hear him clutching it right about into the braking zone, rolling through with the clutch in. Probably about a little bit more than halfway through the corner, and then he will get back into it. So he's definitely trying to do what he can to save enough fuel to get to the end. So I don't think he's planning on coming back in, as we are coming up now, I believe, on 11 laps to go.
All right, he's definitely working on saving that fuel with 11 laps to go as they come through the tri-oval this time by. But Man, he's just trying to save enough, and it gets a little treacherous. I forget exactly I think it was Knoxville raceway that we were at, the dirt side of things, and we were running. I think it was street stocks or one of the cars we were running. I knew that the fuel was going to be tight, and that just as you go into the corner, there was a nice 10-foot wide slick spot, and a lot of guys are having problems keeping their cars on them. They kept spinning the tires and went in a loop. But I knew where that spot was, and I'd lift just to go over it and then put the throttle back down and ride the cushion all the way out. But that little bit of fuel I was saving was enough to get by, and everybody else was running out about a half a lap short.
Yeah, once you figure it out, you know at that point you are absolutely golden. As as we're seeing that out of Sean Dunaway at this moment, as we are now just inside 9 laps to go.
You go across the line, 9 laps to go. Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're good. He was on his way to the line. It's exactly 9 laps to go right now. Perfect on spot. It's kind of makes me wonder just how pivotal what he's doing to try to save fuel and stretch this out is going to be while trying to maneuver lap traffic. Is he gonna have to give up that little bit of strategy he was trying to play? Like he's working the inside of the 82 right now, and the 82 currently in the where's the 82 at?
10th spot.
Yeah, 10th spot.
Yeah,
Joshua Neal.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, you can still be racing hard here, but at the same time, you're some drivers, they just know how to do it.
Most certainly.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of that Hello Kitty machine of Sean Dunaway right now, as that number 9 machine of Brandon Macy comes to get his lap back to once again put 10 cars on the lead lap at the moment. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Sean Dunaway can make it the rest of this race without having to pit. And I think it's going to be extremely close.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm watching here the gap between Sean Dunaway and Aaron Marquette had decreased a little bit, but I think it was just the difference of Sean having to work lap traffic, and Aaron was able to close a little bit. It was like 1.1 seconds, so he closed almost 2/10, but he's already back to that 1.36 seconds now. As Sean had a little bit of clean air, was able to get that 0-1 Hello Kitty machine going back at regular pace here, and that gap is now stretched out to 1.4 seconds. And they'll leave Aaron Marquette approaching that lap traffic that Sean Dunaway was dealing with recently. With Dunaway with 6 laps to go, he'll get the show of the hand from the starter stand. 5 laps remain under the trioval this time for the 0-1 of Sean Dunaway.
Yeah, Sean Dunaway getting that 5-finger salute from your flagman of Barney on top of that flag stand. While we're talking about Barney's been employed since 2008, and guess what? He's never called out sick. He's never missed a day. And any given time, you can see him on top of that flag stand.
Yeah, and I don't know how he does it. He is in many places at one time. And
I've come to the conclusion that we live in a world of Pokemon, and our flagman is a Ditto. So
is a Ditto of Pikachu been deployed?
Exactly.
Well, Sean Dunaway is your race leader and has been for quite some time here, at least the last 35 laps. And the question is, does he have enough fuel?
Man, he better have enough fuel.
I'm starting to wonder at what point did he quit saving it, because he is definitely on the pedal now. I don't really see much going on to say that he's cutting or clutching. So I didn't go on board to hear if he's still working that strategy with 3 laps to go, as he's definitely got the gap here, 1.3 seconds still over Aaron Marquette. Curtis Ecker's currently in 3rd. Cody Benelli is 4th. Robert Richardson rounds out your top 5. Kirby Wainscott from 25th to 10th is having a great run, as long as he can make it on fuel. Just a nil. Now the pit road late in the going was not going to make it on fuel. Has pulled the car down the pit road, is making that stop. As Aaron Marquette still trying to run down Sean Dunaway, but I believe fuel mileage is playing its role here and going to take its toll on the 41. And I believe that it may be Sean Dunaway that may come away with this win. We'll see. It's all down to fuel mileage and a little bit of lap traffic.
Absolutely, as he comes out of turn number 4 as we speak. 1 lap to go for your race leader now of Sean Dunaway and that Hello Kitty number 01. I was just riding on board with him. He was not clutching anymore. He's trying to make it all the way, and he's pulling away a little bit more from that second place of Aaron Marquez as he's come down the back straightaway one final time.
Down the back straightaway for the final time here at Kansas Speedway for the Races Elite Network Xfinity Series. Off of turn number 4. Has the fuel to make it? Does he have fuel to celebrate? We'll find out. As he crosses the start-finish line, he is going to be your race winner. A 01 of Sean Dunaway picks up the race win of the Hello Kitty Chevy Camaro. Curtis Ecker is going to come home in second. Coming home in, oh, dang, that's a flip. Aaron Marquis must have ran out maybe.
Yeah, Aaron Marquis, I think he ran out.
He did, but he lost one spot.
He ran out heading down into turn number 3. So he was able to hold on to it and coast it all the way back to the start finish line. And as you said, he only lost one position to Curtis Ecker, that number 8 machine. So what a good turnaround for Curtis Ecker, and definitely really good luck there for Aaron Marquis as he will come home third today.
I think Sean's out of fuel at the start finish line.
Yep.
That's awesome. Anyway, little full field rundown real quick before we get into our interviews here. Your race winner, obviously, Sean Dunaway, coming home second, being able to pick up that the bridesmaid position. Curtis Ecker will come home second, sneaking that away from Aaron Marquis in the final lap of the race. Marquis will finish third. Fourth is Cody Benelli. Fifth, Robert Richardson rounds out your top 5. Brandon Massey comes home 6th. Lee Campbell comes home 7th. 8th is Brandon Honeycutt. 9th, Stephen Luttrell. Running out your top 10 is Kirby Wayne Scott. Good run for him, starting in 25th. Joshua Neal comes home 11th. Dennis Kane 12th. Truth Hook able to rally back to 13th after a early race situation there. And finishing 14th, Cliff Adams. 15th is David Davis. 16th, Justin Neal. 17th is Brandon Biddy. 18th is Barry Nelson. Going back now to the back half of the field. 19th, Andrew Tuff. So rough day for Andrew on pit road speeding penalty once again. Timothy Wiseberry comes home 20th. Patrick Millette 21st. And that may be just a pit strategy issue for Patrick. He gets that corrected. He'll be back up front where he belongs. A good competitor there. Had a rough go of early pit stops, so maybe a little bit of strategy play, and he'll be competitive as well. David Cummins comes home 22nd. 23rd, Jonathan Stidham. 24th is Ira Kohlhaas. Running out your field in the 25th spot is Kyle Hess. So we'll grab our top 3 drivers, get our interviews here, and see what they have to say about what played out and plagued them throughout the race, that or what maybe worked out in their favor to help them up with the race win. If we want to grab the 41 of Aaron Marquis. Aaron, congratulations. A great third place finish for you to there. Fuel mileage, you played it pretty smart, and it just kind of bit you in the butt there on the last lap.
Yeah, that third stint, after the second pit stop, that sucked. I knew I was going to be short on fuel. I was trying to save in the middle segment there before my second pit stop, but yeah, it didn't work out for me.
I mean, fortunately, only lost one spot. It could have been a little more detrimental. You're not going to lose too many points on losing that spot to Ecker, but that's not exactly what you had in mind.
No, going into this race, I was just hoping for a top 10 because in practice I didn't find the line that I wanted, but after 15, 20 laps, I found the line and I kept going forward. I was in the lead for however many laps, and then yeah, after that second pit stop, it went all downhill from there.
Okay, well, unfortunately, ended up a third, even though you had a second place car and definitely maybe one to compete for the win if the fuel mileage didn't plague you. Anybody that you'd like to thank help you pick up a podium finish here today or tonight at the Kansas Speedway?
Yeah, I want to thank all my teammates. They're a big help. Especially Justin. He was strategy wise, and just helping each other out in general. Thanks to you guys doing the booth. You guys are great week in and week out. Andrew for putting this on. It was a great race. I mean, I don't know about for you guys or the fans for talking points, but it was a good race between all the racers here. So yeah, just thanks to everybody. This is a good league we got going on here. So
And we always look forward to it as well. Mike, anything for Aaron before we move up to our runner-up position?
No, I just taking a look here at the point standings. You did move up from fifth up to third with your finish here today. So congratulations there, moving up a couple spots there. And let's see what next week will bring. Next week we are heading to, where are we going next week? To New Hampshire. What's your experience over at New Hampshire, and what do you expect out of that next week?
New Hampshire's a home track, so hopefully it's a good race. Hopefully I'll continue this top 10 streak that I got going on. I got 3 top 10s in a row, so yeah.
Yeah. And is there anybody that you would like to thank before we send you out today?
I pretty much said it all.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Teammates,
yeah.
We're good.
Andrew,
I
you
skipped around
guys.
on accident.
I'm sleeping on that one. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You're all good.
I wanted to give you your chance. All right, congratulations on the podium here at Kansas, and hopefully one of many more top tens and some more podiums here in the future with the Racers Elite Network Xfinity Series.
Thanks, guys. Hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. All right, Aaron Markey picking up the third place finisher. We'll talk with Curtis Ecker, who was able to take the second spot. And I'll tell you what, we had all the manufacturers kind of divvied out there through the course of the race. We had 3 Chevys at the podium.
Yeah, that we definitely did. And on top of everything, it was Sean Dunaway. So let's go ahead and get our second place driver of that number 8 machine, Curtis Ecker. Curtis, Mike and Ron up in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Alrighty, Ron. I'll turn it over to you.
All right, so out of South Williamsport. Where's that South Williamsport from there, Curtis?
Do you know Little League World Series?
I don't know that I do. Maybe it's,
It's always on TV every August, but it's home of the Little League World Series. You have to look it up. It's well known through the entire world.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to look into that. But man, a great second place finish come up for you tonight. And man, didn't know how to kind of play that out, seeing how things are going at the end. I knew Sean was saving fuel, and I knew Aaron was trying to run him down, and he ran out. But it come down to, did you have enough to catch him, and when you were going to run out?
Yeah, I actually ended with a lap to the good. I was managing my fuel the entire race, and I actually stayed out a lap longer in the entire field that second stint. So I was good that entire final run. I was just too far behind at that point to challenge Sean.
Yeah, it's you gotta be able to manage and start. Being able to have enough fuel at the end of the race starts with having enough fuel through the center of the race as well. Be able to push that little bit extra, and you were able to get that done, and to be able to have the fuel you needed to catch them. Sean was managing his later in the go, but he was good for about the last 2 to 3 laps where he finally started getting back in the fuel and running away with or should be keeping the separation of him and Aaron where it was. And I think he said like a 7-second gap over you, but that's still, it shows what this fuel mileage and strategy does for when you get into a race like this. But what was the key for you other than saving fuel mileage?
I was just wanted a clean race and a good finish. This series has not started out good for me. I had 2 DNFs to start the season, so I'm pretty far in the hole points wise. So I just wanted to go out there and put a good race together and start to hopefully gain some points back.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a decently long season, and it may start off rough, but that luck hopefully stays in your favor through the remainder of the season.
We're hoping.
Mike, you any questions for Curtis here this evening?
Not for Curtis. I do not.
Okay, cool. All right, Curtis. Anybody like to help you pick up a runner-up finisher tonight at the Kansas Speedway?
You guys always do an amazing broadcast. My family for always watching and supporting everything, and just Andrew and everybody who helps put on a amazing broadcast or just racing league.
Heck yeah. Well, that's awesome. And hopefully, first of many more podiums here to come. As you said, the first two races aren't really your cup of tea, so to speak. And we look forward to seeing you back up here in the booth soon.
All right, hopefully. Thank you.
All right, Curtis Ecker picking up the runner-up spot here. As we're going to go now and talk to the man, the scientist, if you will, and, being able to get things to go his way tonight with the race win. Hopefully, this will let me do what I want to do here because it's being a pain in my butt. And well, Sean, congratulations on the race win. Mike, I'm gonna let you take this interview, buddy.
All right, Sean. Again? Congratulations on that first place finish again, 2 in a row on the season. You came up 13 spots, and you were doing a lot of fuel saving that final 25 laps. Uh, how close were you having to save, and how much did you need to save at the end?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't too worried at the end, luckily. I was clutching it probably, like you were saying, like the last 10 laps there. And then, yeah, just lifting right before all the corners and so forth. And as you saw at the very end there, I actually had about like 0.7 uh, gallons of fuel left in the tank. So technically could have gone just one more if I really had to. But luckily Aaron had already ran out of fuel at the end there. So therefore I got that huge gap. Didn't really have to worry about anybody behind me any way pressuring me. So yeah, it all works out. I think like I was telling you last week, this is my kind of racing. Going for the long runs, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely like your long runs and needing to save enough fuel to get to the end. Next week we're heading over to um,
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, and that track, as long as we get those good long green flags, mileage is going to play in your hands there as well. So, what's your thoughts about next week as we head over to New Hampshire?
Yeah, sure. First off, I need to start qualifying better. I don't know what's happened to me the past two races here, but maybe it is a lucky charm that I'm starting more in the back, but I'd like to be, comfortable in the beginning of the race as well. So gotta figure out the qualifying for next week. And then yeah, we'll go from there.
Beautiful. Do you have anything that you would like to ask, Ron?
It's not really a question. I'm picking on Mike a little bit here, but we got to keep the Hello Kitty car in the back of the pack now because when the cats go out front, the dogs bark.
Right.
But no, congratulations, Sean, on
Oh,
a great win. Mike cracking up over there. But no, it's great, man. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe second win this season.
Yeah, second in a row.
Heck yeah.
So that's a first. Yeah.
So first repeat winner of the season. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
Heck yeah. Anybody you'd like to thank help you pick up today's race win?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to thank my wife, my mom and stepdad for always watching, and my cats for always trying to ruin my race here.
Well, they failed tonight, so
Yeah, I guess so.
it's because Mike's dogs are rooting you on.
Right.
Overruled. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sean, on your win. We will see you next week at New Hampshire, and we'll look forward to getting you back into victory lane again next weekend.
Alrighty, thanks, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's driver the number 01 Hello Kitty Chevrolet, Sean Dunaway.
Heck yeah. Well, it's been fun once again, Mike, and I want to thank the viewers for tuning in. And with that being said, we'll catch y'all here on the Racers Elite Network from New Hampshire with the Xfinity Series next Wednesday night. And I know there's other stuff going on this week, so keep your guys' phones, TVs, boob tubes, computers, whatever it is that you're watching on tablets. Tuned here to Racers Elite Network for all the great action to come your way. And I, myself, will see you next week. Mike, I'm sure you'll be back before then. It's been fun, and we look forward to doing it again. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Racers Elite Network. Hari Sports TV would like to thank all of its supporters. Insurance Centers Incorporated, Genmar Services in Reedsville, West Virginia, Slick Products USA, Jeff Scott and the gang at the Florida Entertainment Group at FEGPC.net, BladeNerd.com, simple web solutions powered by nerds, Jeff Brown at iRacing iFlag, Brayden Dillinger at Donald Smasher Performance in Dawson, Pennsylvania, Renegade Race Fuels, Premier Racing Setups, TrackCams22.com for asphalt oval and all course style cameras, SimRatMarket.com for dirt oval cameras, Thanks for watching this broadcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on Hari Sports TV.